stand-up mic. Hosted by four-time Emmy-nominated producer Frank Payton and retired New York City firefighter, 9/11 first responder, and Vietnam vet, Billy O'Connor.
Today's guest, college basketball's power brokers, the Pump Brothers.
My brother
Frankie, how are you?
How the fuck are you doing today?
Terrific, I think. I'm vertical, you know.
Good. Our guest is Dana Pump of the fabulous Pump Brothers. Their foundation dinner is August 19th in Beverly Hills, and they are honoring. Well, Dana will tell you about that when he comes on. What do you got to say today?
Well, I'd be just referring to the Pump Brothers being on the show, which is great. I read that the Pump Brothers are at the NBA, at the basketball, with the Clive Davis is the music. So that's
I believe that.
That's a hell of a compliment.
But I think they're more important for anything is what they're doing to raise money for cancer. This is now, I think, maybe the 22nd or 23rd foundation dinner. They've raised over $10 million for cancer research at Northridge, and that's incredible.
Well, that's.
But
you're a firefighter, and you hear about cancer research and guys doing stuff for cancer.
Yeah.
I mean.
But by the way, that brings me about to, I want the new American hero, Jon Stewart.
He's amazing.
He is amazing, isn't he?
Did you see Tucker Carlson tried to really tear him down?
Yeah.
Did you see what he said about him? He said that he was too short to date. That's what he said.
Hey, Derek, how are you?
Hey, Derek, how are you this morning, brother?
I'm doing great, guys.
We almost slipped by us.
But
you're here again.
Yes.
But Stewart, I mean, it's and what he's doing, you're absolutely right. It's amazing now for the fire pits and for the guys that need that money, veterans, and what he did for us is incomparable. What he did for the FDNY and for the police and iron workers and everybody down there. But Tucker Carlson tried to tear him down and said he's so short. He looks like he's out of work. He looks like he's homeless. He's 5'5" or 5'6", and then Stewart turned around. He said, "Well, Carlson, he might be a lot taller, but he's not so tall that he can't get his nose up Ted Cruz's ass, or something."
He was really phenomenal. He was so well spoken, and he embarrassed the Senate into doing the right thing.
Well, speaking of the Senate, what is it with Rand Paul and
Josh Hawley, the one person who voted against?
Both of them voted against NATO.
No, Josh Hawley voted against it. Rand Paul was an absentee voter.
Oh, okay.
He abstained. So the vote was 95-1 to admit Finland and Norway
How could you
to
vote
NATO.
against that?
Well, he said it wasn't in the best interest of the United States. He's an asshole.
Oh, total asshole.
Total asshole. I don't care who hears it.
Yeah, Republican, Democrat. Well, he's an asshole.
He's an asshole. And Rand Paul's not that far behind, but
Kentucky.
Well, don't say that about Kentucky because
I know you're a big Kentucky guy. I know your daughter went to school there. And everything.
Yeah, I know, but fucking Mitch McConnell's a robber baron too. But people in Kentucky don't need that on top of the floods that they've been going through.
That is awful.
That's awful.
I don't know, people. I mean, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I guess the general consensus on the other side of the aisle, on the Republican side of the aisle, was that there's no such thing as global warming. It's nonsense. Don't call it climate change. Call it this. Call it that. I mean, it's pretty irrefutable at this juncture.
I would say so.
Death Valley had floods the other day. Did you see
Death Valley? Yeah, I mean, they had a year's worth of rain in one day.
Death Valley. That's something. You go to Death Valley and say, don't forget to bring your inflatable boats just in case. You know? Crazy.
Yeah. Well, this is also the week that Bill Russell passed and Vin Scully passed. Vin Scully was a proud son of Fordham University in the Bronx.
He went, and then he
He played baseball.
Did he play baseball?
He did play baseball. Don't you better not ask me if he was the voice of the Dodgers because I'll kick your ass.
No, I know that, but he was the voice of the Brooklyn Dodgers before he left.
Yes,
he was. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, so,
but we'll talk.
When they move out here, 57,
58.
58. Okay.
We'll talk about them in a little while because the Pump Brothers honored both Bill Russell and Vin Scully at the Pump Foundation dinner. And I want to ask Dana Pump his recollections of both Bill and Vin because he knew them very well.
Yeah, well, they knew just about everybody really well. It's incredible. Who don't they know? I think it'd be a shorter list than who they do know.
For sure. Well, with that, I think this would be a good time to bring on Denzel Washington on tape to introduce the Pump Brothers because he'll do a better job of introducing Dana Pump than I could ever do.
And since Vince Scully went to Fordham, Denzel Washington went to Fordham. He played basketball for Fordham.
Yep.
Mount Vernon guy.
Yep. So, Derek, can we roll the tape?
My wife will tell you that I get real giddy. I mean, I love actors and I'm one, movie stars and all, but athletes, I just get stupid. I just do. I just start acting like a little kid. Muhammad Ali, who had the chance to meet many years ago and came over my house and was sneaking around asking for a piece of cake. Lonnie was like, "Don't give me any cake." He's like, he keeps asking for cake. I said, "I put it in the bathroom. Just go to the bathroom, Mom." All right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be back. Show you some magic tricks. Hank Aaron, who I had the good fortune to produce a documentary about, and was nominated for an Emmy Award. And I remember Hank talking about Willie Mays. You know, athletes are so competitive. He said, "No, Willie Mays wasn't faster than me." he said Willie just wore his hat. He said, "I wore my hat down like that, and Willie wore his like that. So when he ran, it flew off." He said, "Willie wasn't faster than me." I was like, Hank Aaron. Those that really know me, Pumps, people that really know me know I'm not one for being honored. I'm an ordinary guy with an extraordinary job, extraordinary life. So when the two redheaded, freckled-faced Jewish boys put the full court press on me, I was like, "Fellas, come on, I'll write a check. You know me. I don't want to, fortunately, my wife and I have been blessed to be honored many times, but one of them, I don't remember which one, he was like, "Well, look, no, D, if you come, a lot of people, will raise money and a lot of people will come and you raise awareness." And I thought about it. I was like, "You know what, Denzel, it's really not about you." I said, in honoring me, you honor the quiet bravery of their father. I forgot which one of y'all was talking about your dad last night, and a quiet, strong man that he was, facing down death for a year, knowing he was going. In honoring all of us, you honor your beautiful mother, Carol, strong, kept you all together, kept the family together. In honoring me, you honor the two red-headed, freckle-faced, slightly overweight Jewish boys who just won't give up. I mean, they have an uncanny ability of bringing people. I mean, look around, just the people that they brought together in this room. So, if anybody's here because I'm here tonight, I'm happy about that, and I hope you all gave a lot. In honoring me, you honor those doctors and nurses that we saw in the film that really do the grunt work, the work in the trenches, as my man Butch Lewis says, do the real hard work. But most importantly, if you're honoring us, you're honoring all of those people whose lives have been touched by this beast and who every day fight that battle. And with the help of these two slightly overweight, red-headed, freckle-faced Jewish boys, they'll win the battle. So if in honoring me, you honor all of those people, then not only am I humbled, but I'm honored. Thanks.
So, Derek, with that, can you bring on Dana Pump? Dana!
How you guys doing?
How you doing?
How are you, Dana?
Oh man, Great.
Your
Thank
mic
you.
is fantastic.
He needs a good mic, that's for sure. If anybody needs a good mic, it's Dana Pump. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing great. Thanks, guys, for having me on.
Great. That's
Delighted to have you.
That's Billy O'Connor. That's Derek Harris.
Pleasure to meet you, Dana. Real pleasure.
So first things first, how the twins?
Twins are great, man. They had swim lessons today. They're coming up on 11 months old. And before we know, we got their birthday party.
Wow, it's unbelievable.
Just time flies.
It's unbelievable.
Hey, Frank, I'm looking for sponsorships for the wonderful birthday party. You know,
Podcast. Here we go. Billy will write you a check. How about that?
Take one of my checks, Dana.
Yeah.
You'd be in great shape with
Billy
that.
will write you a check for how much do you need? 500,000. Billy will write you a check.
Oh, you'll take a check. No problem.
But you know, I'm going to get somehow that 1-year-old birthday paid for. It's all about eyeballs and influencers being there, and we got all of them. And I really appreciate you guys having me on. We're just 11 days from Monday. We'll be 11 days out for our gala.
Yeah, it's August 19th, right, in Beverly Hills?
Yep.
Where's the site this year? Is it the Beverly Wilshire?
Beverly Hills Hilton and Frank. It's the same site for the last 10 years.
You think I know since I've been to 4 of them. I just don't know those Beverly Hills hotels. I go to there once a year. Hey, it would be appropriate. You guys, we showed prior to you coming on the Denzel introduction from 2010, and you have had some incredible guests. And I'll start it off with this week. We lost 2 of your honorees, Bill Russell and Vin Scully. Why don't you tell them a little bit about your recollections of Bill Russell and Vin Scully?
Funny, so Bill Russell was a big deal. I mean, we honored him the same night with Magic Johnson, and Bill's kind of like a recluse. There's always a story how we get to people. And with Bill, we went through his daughter Karen, who I hear now they never spoke for the last several years. And Bill at the time was married. His wife ended up dying of cancer. He asked David and I to run his basketball camp for him, his fantasy camp. So I went through the ex-wife and the daughter, and Bill Russell was amazing. And I remember when he left, I walked him to his town car, him and his wife, and he turned around and looked at me. Peace, my brothers. Me and my brother. Yeah, there's so many incredible stories like that. And, Vin Scully was probably our biggest star. Looking back now.
Really?
So immortal. You got to remember that room. When you live your life, my dad, transistor radio, Vin Scully, Kirk Gibson. To me, Vin Scully was everything. Are you kidding me? I mean, we've had Koufax, name it. But Vin Scully, and when he got up on stage and he said, let's get ready for Dodger baseball and the goosebumps. And we all remember the experience with our parents. And we were where we were, the Kirk Gibson home run, or, those are great experiences.
Why don't you tell us a little about Oscar Robertson and Hank Aaron, 2 other honorees?
Hank Aaron was great. I remember going into his hotel room. Frank Robinson's wife got Hank to be honored. It's who makes the ask. It's how you get things done. And the Robinsons asked Hank to let me honor him. And it was great. He was in his pajamas. It was like 2 o'clock at Beverly Hills Hilton. I just walked and met Muhammad Ali. So I'm going down the hall now to sing Hank Aaron like this is normal. And and I walked in the room and he was in his pajamas. And I met him and his wife, and I said, I'm Dana, this is my twin, and my mother was there. I said, this is the matriarch, and we really appreciate you letting us honor you. You look back now, and that room was Denzel, Hank Aaron, Muhammad Ali. I don't think there was a room ever like that in sports or entertainment. It was incredible. you're saying, well, what's next? I got to honor the dream team while everyone's alive.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, great idea. I love the comment you made. Who makes the ask is how you get things done. It's not necessarily the cause. But if somebody asks you that you can't say no to, obviously that's the key.
How about this, guys? I asked fucking Frank to get me Rockaroo. They can't deliver Rockaroo.
I delivered him 3. Wait a second. You know why Rod doesn't come? Because the last time you asked him to come, you said you're going to call him up on stage, and you forgot. You forgot to call him.
That was David, Frank. My brother. I mean, I asked him.
That's hilarious.
Shit happens.
That's great. That's a great line, though. I bet you guys played that game all your life.
Hey, why don't you tell us about the ask on Muhammad Ali?
That's a great story. So I called Layla, and she goes, "Yeah, my stepmom says you can call her right now." So I had my home phone and a cell phone. I hung up on the cell and I said, "Lonnie, this is Dana Pump. I'm one of the Pump twins. We want to honor." And she goes, "We're in Scottsdale. Why don't you fly out? Come out." I said, "I'll come out there tomorrow and I'll meet you." So we go to Scottsdale, Houston's, Muhammad Ali, Lonnie, David, and Dana. And we sit there in front of her and she goes, "Boy, you guys are cute." Girls never say that to me and my brother. I pat my brother on the leg. I said, "David, I think we got this one done." And she said, "Muhammad wants to know who you're honoring." And I said, "Hank Aaron, Denzel Washington." And she goes, "Unbelievable." When we walk out in our car, me and my brother, and David looked at me and goes, "We've never spoken to Hank and Denzel. How would we?" I said, "Hey, now we got to get the shit done." And Frank, we got it done.
Unreal.
That's unbelievable.
Throw out 2 names like that. By the way, we haven't talked to him yet. However, that's great, man.
Well, that reminds me of a story similar to that with John Huston was directing The African Queen. And he asked Katharine Hepburn to be in it. And she said, "Who's in it?" He said, "Humphrey Bogart." He didn't have Humphrey Bogart, but he said he got Humphrey Bogart. And then he says, "Well, now we got to get Humphrey Bogart because Katharine Hepburn signed up to be in a movie with Humphrey Bogart." Wow.
That takes balls, man. As you guys would say, chutzpah is right. Chutzpah, your middle name, huh?
Incorporated, not Double Pump. Chutzpah Incorporated.
You got to have a real passion, and you got to, it's the legacy for my mother and father. It's 22 years. We've given over 10 million away, not raised. Big difference. We have 3 wings named after my mother and father: Carol Pump Women's Center, Harold and Carol Pump Oncology, and the Pump Family Infusion Center.
And that's at Cal State Northridge Hospital, correct?
No, in Northridge
Hospital. Oh, Northridge.
And that's a real legacy for my mother and father. For my, I'm going to go on stage, and my opening remark is pretty funny. I'll try it out with you, Franks, because you got such a sense of humor. You think you do. So, anyways, I get the day after I have my child, I go to this Jewish deli all the time, and Brent's Deli, and I'm sitting there, and the lady goes, "Hey, Dana, I haven't seen you in a while. How you been?" And I said, "I just had children." And she goes, "Is this your first grandkid?" And I looked and said, "Isn't this something? My first grandkids doesn't know my kids." And but 22 years later, and I've never had such a love and a passion for what I'm doing. I'm here in my office right now. I got my celebrity list. I got my whales that haven't paid yet. I've got my tables who haven't paid. So, it's a technique. I don't, beg people for the money. I have a lady that asks, but I email people certain things and, try to shtick them around and, send their money in. But I think I'm blessed with whatever I have, and I just, it's just, I love what I'm doing, and it's keeping their legacy alive in our community.
Well, how about the story about you were flying on an airplane with the president of Mexico?
What's funny? So I mean, he's coming here this year. We can't get Rockaroo, but we got President Fox,
See,
a world leader, a world leader. So, anyways, I'm in Leon, Mexico, and I land for a global summit. And I met President Fox at the Super Bowl in Dallas in the Millionaire Suites, and I knew who he was because my brother's wife is from Michoacan, and I knew who he was. He was a head of Coca-Cola Mexico. He's a rancher, and I say, hey, President Fox, my name is Dana Pump, blah blah blah. I'd love for you to come to my event. I'd love to raise some money. So that's how I met the Molinas, the Molina Healthcare, the brothers, John and Mario. And we did a little fundraiser and got them some money. It's funny. This year I told them I'd get them a donation, and I asked a couple of my buddies already, and we already raised $10,000 for them, and so it's a win-win. It comes out the event. So I met him. I cultivated him. He came to my gala. His grandkids go to Sierra Canyon. He's become a great friend of ours. He lives on a ranch in Leon, Mexico, and it's incredible how we connected with a world leader. You help people. You can't be afraid to ask, and the twins are different. I'm not afraid to ask. David will take them to dinner 10 times and won't even bring up the foundation. I don't start till I bring up the foundation right away. And, it's what I do. I love what I do, and I love the legacy. And so President Fox is coming out. He'll be here on the 18th, and he'll walk the red carpet. And, that's just one of 100 great relationships. I'm looking at the board. I mean, we have Allison Felix coming this year. Don Stanley, the coach of South Carolina, who won back-to-back, won 2 women's championships. Larry Fitzgerald, he's coming. Gary V, he'll be there this year.
And who are you honoring this year?
This year we're honoring Ozzie Smith, Ray Lewis, Oscar De La Hoya. How about this one? Tyson's Mike and his wife Kiki, they moved to Fort Lauderdale. So I have a private plane picking them up. So Kiki texted me last night. Dana, Mike was offered a lot of money to go to Dubai, but he said he made a commitment to the Pump Brothers. I was just thinking to myself, how blessed are we? 2 guys, that we have 50 Hall of Famers coming to the gala. 50 Hall of Famers. Jim Brown, the greatest football player of all time, will be at the gala.
How'd you go about asking Jim Brown to be honored?
His son interns with me.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
Frank, take notes, Frank.
I'm taking notes. I always answer the phone. That's one thing I learned from Dana. Dana Pump is always answer the phone because you never know who's calling.
You never know.
I saw an interview with you when I was doing the research, Dana, and said, help the kids to get to the whale. Nobody can say no to somebody who helps their children do anything.
Amen. Amen.
That was brilliant.
That's part of our DNA. You got to help people. And, Eric Dickerson, Franco Harris, Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray and Ozzie Smith were high school teammates at Locke High School. Right. I don't know if, many people know that. And, we got all the great boxers coming. Sugar Ray will be there, of course. Roy Jones will be there. Reggie Jackson will be there. The great baseball player will be there. We have great people to present to Ozzie, the Wizard.
Is Doug Gottlieb going to host?
Doug is, and Russell Peters is before me.
Wow.
Oh, Russell Peters, terrific.
You had Jamie Foxx one year perform, and it was unbelievable.
Jamie will be there. Cedric the Entertainer will be there this year, and we're just really, really blessed. I mean, to do something for 22 years and you raise more money each year, and usually things die down. There's not a passion to get all the stars. I'll call guys 100 times. I'm just relentless. But if you don't care, you're not going to be successful.
I can vouch for being called 100 times.
Oh, no. You think I let the Rock Peru thing go, Frank? It's too early to bother you. In another 5 days. I mean, I'm stupid. There's some guys want to sprint. Easy, David. So this year,
Well,
we had a party at the Final Four. You guys will like this. And Jamie Foxx was working, and we wanted Jamie to come and host our party and perform. It was on a Thursday night, and David's calling me. When are you going to talk to him? You don't talk to Jamie on a Monday. I don't wait till Wednesday night. They're not worried about it. And a lot of times I'll put Jamie in the hotel 5 days before the event. So at least I know he comes and puts his head down and go to sleep. And there's a good chance he'll be in the hotel. So, Jamie did host our party, and there's another blessing, man. Him and Cedric, they answer the bell every time I call them. It's amazing. Eric Dickerson.
LL Cool J.
LL, Magic Johnson, Kevin Johnson, the former mayor, and the great guard, Phoenix. He's a new guy. He'll be there this year. And Warren Moon. We're just so blessed with so many incredible stars.
Was John Wooden your first honoree?
John Wooden was the first one. And it's so funny. Jim Herrick and I wanted to come like year 10. We go to his house. We say, hey, Coach, we'll give you an honorarium for the church. Now, Jim, now, Dana, I told you I have a commitment with a women's assistant coach at a high school in Indiana. I'm like, Jim, we gotta get this done. What are you doing? So, Coach Wooden was so clever till the end. Oh, it was unbelievable. The stories we have. We'd ask them again, and we moved the honorarium up a little. And then he got a little upset. Now, guys, I told you, that was a man of commitment. He was unbelievable. I used to go to Vips with him and David, and I brought Eddie Sutton and Tarkanian to breakfast one day when the Pac-10 was there. The stories were incredible. You remember, Coach, in 71, we all went to eat with our wives, and I was just listening, and, Jim and Tark John Wooden and Tark were the most opposite two guys. But obviously, Tark grew up in Pasadena, coached at Long Beach State, and, it's the fraternity, and they talked like they were best friends.
Yeah, you bring up the Final Four. That's how you made your bones, isn't it? The Double Pump Foundation?
Our basketball teams, our AAU, our tournaments, that was a platform for us. And Denzel's kid played on my AAU team, Malcolm, and that's how I developed that relationship. That opened up a lot of doors for us, and that was a great part of our life. We've obviously moved on from all that world, and we have an agency, and we've been in the ticket business for our whole life, hospitality. But it was a great run. We had a lot of great pros on our team: Paul Pierce, Paul George, James Harden, and those relationships continue. Can't get those guys to help us, but it's so frustrating. These guys today are making monopoly money.
Yes,
unbelievable.
Yep. Well, you guys were 16 when you started.
16 years old. We ran our first basketball camp at Northridge Park, and that was where we planted our first seed. And that seed's been planted so many places. And, when you do good and you help people, those relationships are going to grow. And it's obviously all the relationships have grown tremendously, especially in our philanthropic passion for our mom and dad.
Yeah, and you guys have been very kind to Artis Gilmore. He comes every year. He wouldn't miss it. He's just an outstanding human being, and you guys recognize it. And I honor that.
He's a mensch. It's a mensch. He gets to come back and see a lot of his guys, and Julius Irving's a regular at the event. Rick Berry's a regular at the event, and those guys are kind of the guys that started I remember like getting Artist Gilmore the first year. That was like a big deal. Our first year, we had one celebrity, Steve Yeager, and you thought we had Johnny Bench and Yogi Berra in the room. So you got to start somewhere, and that's why it's going to be really hard to stop, guys, because we have definitely have created a great playbook. You know, we'll raise over a little under $2 million. So why do you stop? You know, over all those years building those relationships, that's real money we're giving away. So it's we're in year 22. I sure like to honor the dream team, and like next year,
Well,
I got
Dana,
Who will help you make the ask? Magic?
that's who I would love to, and he can make it work. I can get everyone. I need help with 2 guys, and that's it.
that's amazing.
I know
Amazing.
I know Carl well. I know David Robinson. I know Stockton. I know the Mullins, Chris, and his wife really well. So that's something I'm going to work on.
What about the guy from Duke? Because Artis sees him all the time.
Leave honor, Coach K.
No, the Dream Teamer, Christian Leitner.
Yeah, he's there's going to be some roadblocks. Our boy Michael Jordan's not talking to Scotty.
Oh,
Leitner's mad at Pippen. He loaned him some money, but I think if Magic really got involved and helped me, it's bigger than the Pumps. It's bigger. It's because someone's going to die here eventually. They're all getting older.
it sounds like somebody's going to take out Scottie Pippen.
Well, I'm saying we gotta, whether it's us or someone. I mean, that would be a big deal. Netflix, the reunion team, the party, the pre-party, the after-party. It'd be a really big deal for our country if we can honor the dream team.
Well, if you need help with Christian Leitner, Artis knows him very well because he lives in Jacksonville, and so does Artis.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you want help with Artis, just give me a call.
I got to tell you, the best advertisement I heard for the August 19 gala at the Beverly Hills Hilton was what Frank said previous. He said, before you came on, he said, Billy, I got to tell you, and Frank's not easily impressed. Obviously, Artis Gilmore and Rod Carew's agent and being in Hollywood all these years. Everywhere I looked, because every dinner that I went to for that Pump Brothers ran, everywhere I looked was another celebrity. Everywhere. You couldn't look at a table without being amazed and impressed. So
that's what people pay for. They want to come and see their heroes. Everyone. Steve Garvey to me is like one of my heroes. Like, and it doesn't stop. We got a lot of great musicians coming this year. Just to come to the event. I'm a big fan of Shante Moores, Eric Benet, Bobby Brown, Johnny Gill. They'll all be there, just enjoying it. A lot of great Pro Football Hall of Famers from Marshall Faulk will be there. LT Ladanian, Kendrick Perkins will be there. Judge Mathis, Jordan Clark.
unbelievable.
You guys are incredible. You're just incredible. Hey, didn't you make a shoe deal for John Calipari once? Can you tell me about
Sure
that?
did. We were working with LA Gear. At the time, John never got free product. He was at UMass. So I called him up. I said, John, I'm working with this company called LA Gear. They're going to give you $5,000. As your agent, John, I'm taking 3. I'm giving you 2. He says, that's a deal. We thought we were big time. And there's just so many of those relationships and stories. We can go on, and how we got people to come. And I remember I chased Gail Sayers for 10 years. Once he came, never missed him. Gail and Arnie Sayers. He was a Jayhawk and one of the great guys, that I met, doing our parents' foundation. So many great relationships. So many athletes and how I meet people.
Why don't you tell us a little behind-the-scenes story about that's maybe you've never told before about one of the 22 Pump Foundation dinners? Because I know that Saturday everybody will be at the pool. So Dana said to me, "You come over here with a camera, and I'll get you everybody you need for your podcast." And I said, "No,
Yeah, I
we
mean,
just need you, Dana."
I'm thinking stories we've oh Jesus, last year, COVID. You know,
Wow.
I gave people an out because it's hard to yell at someone when they tell you they have COVID. So David's like, "We have a doctor. Come over here to test you." Oh, who knows? Just go. You're good. No, but it's funny. We lost a couple. We had a great year last year. We did 1,750,000, and so we Isaiah. It went to like the day of,
Isaiah Thomas.
and he ended up coming, but he was really concerned about COVID, his health, and that was a big concern. So I was talking about being stressed. I was so stressed out, and then we got to honor some more female athletes. So I love to, I love to honor like Diana Ross. Like the year we honored Koufax and Joe Namath, Harlan Warner helped me with them, and they don't do anything. Well, what do you think I'm calling you for? I want people. I want a recluse. I want someone that no one sees a lot. Koufax was a big deal in L.A. It was a big deal everywhere. Being a Jew and Sandy, it was like the Pope just walked in the room. Just oh my God, he's here. And that was I remember I was at Monty's Steakhouse. And my buddy says, "You want to meet the guy from The Most Interesting Man? From Dos Secos."
Yeah.
Seriously, Jonathan Goldschmidt, Jewish, moved to Vermont. Walked in there, met him, became really good friends with him, and he was a big deal, guys like that, because everyone wanted their picture with the most interesting man.
How's Smokey Robinson?
Smokey's great. He was one of our honorees last year. He's like 82 now. He calls me from a block number. Him, Magic, and Denzel. And I said, "Hello?" I said, "Hello? Who's this?" "Hey, baby, it's Smokey." "Oh, hey, Smokey. How are you?" "Hey, baby, I'm vegan. You want to have dinner tonight? We got to go vegan." I said, "Oh, I'm vegan too." I know. And it's just, you got to connect with people. You got to, Smokey's, man, it's incredible. Just so many stories like that with Smokey. And I just sit there and think about how iconic this guy is. I mean, he's been a rock star since he's a young kid. And I asked them, Diana Ross and Aretha Franklin, and they all grew up, in the projects together. And, just the stories he told me, and, and it's amazing. It's just amazing of all the musicians. I mean, the year we honored Denzel, I had Morgan Freeman, who I never knew. He had an agent at CAA, the longest agent. I met him, and he was Jewish, and he liked me and my brother, and that's how I got Morgan. Cedric, the entertainer, at the time I didn't know well. I got him. Snoop, someone connected me, and then Jamie. It's hard for someone to say no to present to Denzel Washington.
Yep.
So that was a special year. I mean, I got the pictures on my wall. It's sad on the Hank Aaron picture.
Well, hang on, Dana, because we can't see behind you because you got it blocked out.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you unblock it, if you
Ashley, come here. I don't know how to do this stuff. Hold on. Can you unblock this? Yeah. Oh, I'll show you some stuff. It's pretty neat.
we got a bunch of ums. There you go.
There you go. Wow. Yeah.
That's quick.
Okay. So this is when Magic Johnson took me to south of France on the boat. That's My wife did a jersey and all our pictures, and that was the greatest thrill of my life.
You were on a boat with Magic?
Yeah,
Who else was on it?
it was LL Cool J, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, Sugar Ray Leonard.
I know Rodney, Pete, and Holly.
Yeah, they do, and so that's the year over here where I honored Hank Aaron. We've lost Frank, we lost Ernie, and obviously we have Dave here. And
Frank was a high school teammate of Bill Russell. Frank
oh,
Robinson.
of course, yeah, from Oakland,
Yep.
McClymonds High School.
Yep.
Well, over here we have the year we honored Shaquille. We had Kevin Hart there and Jamie, but here's one of the great ones. See if you can show them the year we on. This is the year we honored Jim Brown. Can you make that so they can see it? So to present to Jim Brown, I had Jamie Foxx, Bo Jackson, Eric Dickerson, Gail Sayers, Mark Salmon,
Unbelievable.
Willie McGinnis, LaDainian Tomlinson, and Emmett Smith. And yeah, that was those were special years, and we definitely got a good legacy here going for Mom and Dad. And I'll show you something, Frank. Can you hand me those two guys over there? These just they're on eBay. Oh my God! Hold on. You'll like this, Frank.
Shelly's got the paint.
No. These are game. These are the Pump Bobble Dolls.
All right.
See,
You know,
we got cell phones here and everything.
They're a little bit better looking.
Yeah, slim fast back then. The pumps right here.
That's
You got one of that.
With the cell phones.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
How long do you figure the foundation dinner will go on?
I want to go 25 years, another 3. My wife thinks the Lord's blessed me with a special favor, and you help so many people. It's definitely become my identity. I haven't lost my passion yet at all. It's stronger than ever. I want, Dane and Cassie to see what we're doing, and it's something, that Dane would love to see his dad doing and continue that. And but I definitely going to go 25 for sure. And we started a board fund. We have 2.3 million in that fund, and I want to have 5 million. So there's a real legacy of money going out every year when there's no Pump Brothers.
Is Ken Bentley on your board?
He was. He'd been off it, but he was on it from a good 20 years.
Yeah, he's probably spending more of his time on the pro tour for minorities.
One of the greatest. Yep. One of the greatest guys. Guys, got to remember, people give to people. People don't give to causes. So I am so blessed. So many people believe in David and Dana, and they give it because we ask.
Now the proceeds, the money, Dana, goes not only to Northridge. Is it exclusively for cancer research?
No, it goes to the Pump Foundation. So like last year, we gave Northridge $5 million a night, and we have a whole plan where that money goes. We have a hospice budget where people are underserved. We provide money for that. A couple $100,000 goes to equipment. If you go on our website, Harold and Carol Pump Foundation, there's a breakdown of where the money goes, the ROI, how everyone can see where your money goes to, and I like to be very transparent, and it's all online and tells our story better than anything.
Yeah, I know when I went to get my first vaccination shot, I went to the Northridge Hospital, and I went past the Pump, Carol and Harold Pump Foundation building, and it was incredible.
Yeah,
you see how these guys have done it physically. It's brick and mortar.
It's you gotta have a passion. You gotta care. You gotta I'm here on a Saturday working today because we're 11 days out. I got to nudge people. I got to stay on celebrities. You're going to lose some people. We book flights and there's a lot of work, but we're ready to go. We've been doing it long enough, and I'm really excited. And if you're looking to buy tickets, you can go on the Harold and Kara Pump Foundation website, and appreciate you guys for having me on.
Absolutely.
Harold and Carol Pump Foundation website. Well, I want to tell you, from my perspective as a firefighter from New York City and a first responder at 9/11, the amount of money that you put into cancer research means more than you can ever imagine to the brothers and guys that I've seen go down at
Thank you.
9/11.
My best friend is from Long Beach, New York.
Know a lot of guys out there.
His name is Big Bill. Big Bill. He lives in Denver, Colorado, and he does a lot for 9/11. And I love New York. And were you there during 9/11?
Yeah, I was there. I was a first responder at 9/11. But so many guys, I can't tell you, Dana, how many guys I get phone calls. Who's pray for this guy? He's got lung cancer, bone cancer, eye cancer. I didn't even heard of eye cancer. So what you guys are doing for cancer, for cancer research, I mean, it's exponential. It just goes on. It's hard to believe how many ripples that rock that hits that puddle.
And
So thank you.
Billy was also a Vietnam vet, so he was double
So
hit.
thanks a lot, pal. Really,
So he really
from the bottom of my
appreciates
heart.
Thank you.
Derek, you have a question? Any questions you want to ask? Really? You had so many questions before here.
Well, I have more
he
questions.
he
but
wants to know how you got Derek Jeter.
Thomas Toll.
Oh, Thomas Toll. Yeah, and Thomas Toll is a movie producer who produced 42
And he invested in the Player Tribune. That once again, it's who makes the ask.
And also, you mentioned continually the research I've done on you guys. You got to keep your promises. You're talking to celebrities. It doesn't matter who you're talking. You got to have integrity. You got to keep it. No bullshit. You can't bullshit anybody.
Amen. I'm always writing checks the other way. I'm always supporting people that support me. There's the DNA. There's the sauce right there.
That's the secret sauce. Keep your promises. Don't bullshit.
No,
That's right out of the streets. That's right out of the streets.
you're 100% right, and I do it. My brother and I go to a lot of events. I go to this event the other day. I met a big insurance guy that is a CEO of a big company, $30,000. But it's all because I was a rainmaker. I go to events, I meet people. Your first impression, you got to follow up. And it goes down people giving to people, and we have a really good reputation. People know about the Pump Brothers.
Dana, who do you hang out with, like on a daily basis?
That's crazy. Never know. Mike Ornstein's one of my best friends in the world. Orny, a big sports figure. Cedric is godparents. Cedric the entertainer. Russell's my boy. We're out to dinner a lot, and we have so many groups of people. We got our foundation friends. We got our basketball friends. We got a lot of celebrity friends. We got my church family with my wife, friends, and we just have so many buckets. And all I care about right now is staying focused for 11 days, taking care of my beautiful children. But we're never alone when we go to dinner or breakfast, and we're always remaining good friends with a lot of the guys. And you got to help people's children, and that's how we got good with Denzel and Jamie the same way. And Jamie's got the heart of gold, always helping people. Russell's amazing. I mean, we're blessed. We're blessed beyond our wildest dreams.
And I'm sort of guaranteeing that the event will be Saturday night, the 19th. On Sunday,
Friday night, Frank.
Friday night, the 19th. Oh,
yeah.
Well, then I'm guaranteed on Sunday, Leah will be singing in the church choir.
Yeah, she definitely will be doing that, and everything's good right now. Life is great, and I'm really excited. And I got to run, but I made a commitment. I love what you're doing, Frank. You've been great to me, guys. Guys, if you want to come to our VIP party the 18th, Frank, send me all their emails. I'll send them an invite on Monday.
Okay,
Wow,
that's great.
that's really, really generous. Dan.
That's great.
Amazing.
Yeah, you guys will have a great time. There'll be a bunch of guys who will come the night before, and artists will fly in. Bob Baffert's coming. I called him myself, and I said, Bob, you don't have to do the red carpet. I want you to come. There'll be no media for you. And Bob's a wonderful friend of mine, and it's good when you're on top. Everyone's calling, but Bob will bounce back in his profession. I think he's already back, but that's another sport. Someone that's done an incredible job.
Well, thanks for the invite for the guys. That's terrific, and thank you so much for taking your time out. I know 11 days out, you got a lot to do. You got a lot of the I's to dot and T's to cross. But
Yeah.
I promise you, I promise anybody that goes that the Pump Foundation dinner will be well worth whatever you spend to get in there.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Frank.
You bet.
Thank
Dana.
you, Dane. Thanks for your service, man. I mean that.
Yeah, everybody.
Be well.
Bye-bye.
That's incredible. As I was doing the research, and geez, that one picture alone with the James Brown, with the Jimmy Brown indoctrination, that's incredible. Just the amount of yards on that picture, running backs,
Yep.
Dickinson,
Yep.
Sayers, unbelievable.
Yep, that's for sure.
But when I was doing the research on him, a couple of terminologies that slipped in. He said, "Well, that guy was a layup. He was easy enough, and this guy was a home run, and this guy." I had a bookmaker out in Queens, Irving Fruitman was his name, Fruity, right? My first bookmaker, and he always the way he talked was like in sports, like he'd always like touchdown. That's a touchdown. This is a layup. This is a bunt. So you get, right away it triggered that memory of Fruity because how the sports terminology slips in. But he's an amazing character.
Yeah, they both are.
Unbelievable character.
He's you said a word, character. He is a character.
But I mean, just the way even you, he broke your balls 3 times about Rod Carew in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, and I broke his balls. I broke his balls right back because Rod went to the dinner and he forgot to call him up with all the great hitters.
That was his brother.
That was his brother.
That wasn't me.
That was his brother. That's hilarious.
That's got to be a great scam they run the whole time.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
terrific.
So, pretty good.
Interesting guy, man. Really interesting guy. And again, that was a bullshit. What he's doing for cancer, at this stage of the game, we're all concerned with cancer. Not that we weren't before, but I mean, we're definitely paying particular attention to it nowadays.
Yeah. We had a story we were going to tell. What was it?
Russell.
Oh, Bill Russell. Yeah.
Oh, Bill Russell.
We're talking about.
Well, you know what? He said it. He said that Bill Russell was reclusive. He was the kind of guy.
And he never, until the end, when the money got really big, he never signed autographs.
I didn't know that.
He never signed autographs. But why don't you tell me?
Well, he was always different.
Yeah.
My son, who's close to 40 now, 38 years old. But when he was like 5, 6 years old, I used to take him. He was a big NBA fan, big basketball fan. And I took him to a couple All-Star games, one in Phoenix, one in San Antonio. And, of course, pre-game, the NBA, that weekend is all past celebrities, Oscar Robertson, etc., signing autographs. And he didn't know a lot of the old-timers. Of course, I did. I saw Bill Russell. I said, son, go over there. That's Bill Russell. Get Bill Russell's autograph. He could be the greatest NBA player ever. I says, he's one of the greats. I said, get his autograph. So he could run it over. He had this white hat that all the autographs were on. Mr. Russell, he says, can I have your autograph? And Bill Russell, of course, is looking down at him, all 3 feet tall, and he says,
at 5 years old.
At 5 years old, he says, sorry, son. He says, I don't sign autographs. Oh, can I get my picture taken with you? He says, no, I'm sorry, son. I don't do that either. He looked up and he said, what the fuck are you doing here?
5 years old.
Son, come here.
Yeah.
5 years old. What the fuck are you doing?
I wonder where he heard that from.
I don't know. His mother had a filthy mouth.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 5 years old, come right out of his mouth. What the fuck are you doing here? And then Russell gave him some look, too. His eyeballs came out.
I would imagine. Well, it's a hell of a show we just put on. So
Well, yeah, it's a really interesting guy. Thanks, Frank.
and I because you're one of the 40 over 40 podcasters in America, as voted by Podcast Magazine.
That's so top 40, over 40,
40.
with blue eyes and
with blue
gray
eyes
hair.
and gray hair
And manic.
and an iris. You walk on clouds.
Walk on clouds.
Well, let's.
So maybe we should, if we get an invitation to go, we'll be set for our podcast for the next 2 years. You can walk around bumping into people.
Yeah, well, for sure you're going to get, if you want them, you're going to get invitations.
That's pretty amazing.
So anyway, we'll walk on out of here now. And
Okay.
thanks for being with us. And Derek, thank you again for your incredible job. And,
Oh my God! Thank you so
Incredible
much.
job.
I appreciate it.
See you next
Hey,
week.
hey, Derek, what the fuck are you doing?
I know. Sort of out of character, right?
see you next week.
All right, see you next week. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Really appreciate it.
Next week's guest, actor, Bosch Legacy, Jackie Childs on Seinfeld, Phil Morris.
We'll see you next week.